So we're diving into a really interesting source today, and it makes a pretty bold claim that the ancient practice of yoga holds the solution to many of our most common health problems. From digestion all the way to getting a good night's sleep, we're going to break down the specific poses it recommends to help live a healthier life.
All right, so this really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? In our modern world with all its unique health challenges, can an ancient practice like this really be the answer for everything? Well, this document we're looking at certainly makes a strong case. So let's explore the connections it draws. Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this just like the source lays it out. We'll start with the main idea, then we'll get into the specifics for digestion, physical pain, and even overall health. After that, we'll touch on mental well-being before wrapping up with the final message.
So, first things first, the source doesn't just treat yoga as general exercise. No, it presents it as a targeted, therapeutic system. The core idea is that you can almost prescribe specific poses to tackle the specific health issues that so many of us face today. First up, let's talk about something a lot of us can relate to: digestion. It's such a common issue, and our source has some very specific yoga poses that it claims can make a real difference. So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, the source gets specific, covering general stomach problems, or pate, gas, which is simply gas, improving your digestive power, or pachan sakti, and even piles, or bawasir. And this is where it gets super practical. For gas, you see it suggests Pavanamuktasana, which, get this, literally translates to the wind-relieving pose. It's said to massage the abdominal organs. It also recommends Vajrasana, or thunderbolt pose, which is really unique because it's one of the only poses you can actually do right after a meal to help with digestion. And to boost that digestive power, it points to inversions like shoulder stand and headstand, which are thought to flip the script on circulation and get more blood flowing to your gut. Okay, moving on from our stomachs to something else we all know too well: physical pain. For a lot of people, this is the main reason they even start looking into practices like yoga, and our source document lays out some very specific recommendations. This section is all about those common aches and pains. We're talking about issues with the spine, or rear ki hatti, general back pain, kamar dard, arthritis, or gatiya, and of course, headaches, sar dard. And look at this. It's that same targeted approach again. For back pain, the source points to poses like Bhujangasana, the cobra pose, which is a gentle way to strengthen the spine. For headaches, it brings back those powerful inversions, like headstand and shoulder stand. The thinking here is that by reversing blood flow, you can help ease tension in your head and neck. And hey, are you noticing a pattern here? Some of these poses are definitely multi-purpose tools. And speaking of patterns, let's just zero in on that idea for a second. Take Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose. According to the source material we're breaking down, this one single asana is listed as a remedy for more than 5 different health issues. It pops up everywhere, from helping with digestive gas to supporting heart conditions. It really highlights a theme in the text. Some of these poses are presented as true powerhouses. You know, that idea that one single pose can have such a wide-ranging impact is the perfect bridge to our next section. The source doesn't just stop at localized pain or an upset stomach. It goes bigger, extending its recommendations to broader, systemic health conditions that can affect your whole body. And we're not talking about small stuff here. The source tackles some major health concerns: diabetes, or madhumeh, heart conditions, or hriday rag, weight loss, or motapagatana, and even improving the health of our lungs, or pepre. So the key takeaway is how the text connects these specific poses to such complex conditions. For diabetes, it lists things like the seated forward bend, which is thought to stimulate abdominal organs like the pancreas. For heart conditions, there's our powerhouse Vajrasana again, along with a shoulder stand. And for weight loss, it points to dynamic poses like the plow pose and that wind-relieving pose we talked about, which are thought to rev up your metabolism. Okay, let's put 2 of the heavy hitters from this document side by side: Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, and Sirsasana, the headstand. As you can see, the source credits them with similar but also distinct benefits. Both are linked to helping with arthritis and eye health, but the source specifically ties shoulder stand to heart health and weight loss, while it connects headstand more to managing diabetes and headaches. It's a subtle but important distinction in the text. All right, we've covered a lot of the physical stuff, but now let's shift gears and talk about something just as important: our minds. Our source material dedicates a whole section to what might be one of the most sought-after benefits of yoga: just finding some mental peace and getting better rest. This part is all about 2 things many of us are chasing: a good night's sleep, or tackling insomnia, anidra, and finding a little more mental peace, or mansik shanti, in our hectic lives. And the recommendations here are so fascinating. For insomnia, it suggests these deeply restorative poses, especially shavasana, or corpse pose, which is literally designed to help your body just relax. But for cultivating mental peace, it points us right back to those intense inversions: headstand, shoulder stand, and plow pose. The idea seems to be that the sheer amount of focus and physical control these poses demand can help quiet all that mental chatter.
Okay, so we've looked at digestion, pain, systemic health, and mental well-being. Let's pull all these threads together now and see what the big final message of this document really is. What's the ultimate takeaway?
And really, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful phrase: Yog karin, nirograhin. It translates to do yoga, stay disease-free. It's not just a suggestion, it's presented as a vow, a direct and memorable call to action that pretty much sums up the entire philosophy we've just explored. Now, to give you the full picture, it's important to see the final context from the source itself. It ends with this statement, crediting the knowledge to Rajiv Dixit Ji and connecting the practice of yoga to a larger vision for the nation. We're showing you this exactly as it's written, so you have the complete perspective of the document we're analyzing. And that brings us full circle and leaves us with one final question, but this one's for you. Aaj aap kaun sa yoga apnayenge? Which yoga pose will you adopt today? After seeing all these connections, is there one ancient solution here that feels like it might just fit your modern life? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.